All right, so this is going to be the SAT practice test number 7 by the College Board. So here we go, section 3. Number 1, the equation above relates the number of minutes. So X is the minutes, Y is the also minutes. Okay, so X is the minutes running, and Y is the number of minutes biking. Okay, so 75, well, that's probably supposed to represent the total number of minutes from running and biking, right? So something about that, starting from the bottom. The number of minutes spent biking for, no, not just that. C, the total number of minutes spent running and biking. So there it is. C. Number 2, which of the following is equivalent to that shit? So let's distribute 3x plus 15 minus 6. So that'll be 3x plus 9, which is answer choice C. Number 3, which order pair satisfies the equation? So we can go ahead and try to solve by putting that into the substitution, right? So y minus 3 over 2 plus 2y is equal to 6. I'll multiply the whole thing by 2's. So that'll give me y minus 3 plus 4y, could use some parentheses, is equal to 12. So 5y minus 3 is equal to 12. So 5y is equal to 15. So y must be 3. And that is basically answer choice B because that's the only thing that has y is equal to 3. I'm not going to check for x. Number 4, which of the following? Okay, so 5 minus... Okay, so first of all, if you notice, that's a 9i square. I square is supposed to be, if you just square over here, you should really know that I square is just negative 1. But anyway, so 5 plus 12i and minus, that'll be negative 9 minus 6i. So here we go. 5 minus negative 9, so that becomes a plus, so that should be 14, and enough is enough. I'm not going to check the I term. Number 5, if f of x is that, what is f of negative 1? So just put that negative 1 in the place of x. So that'll be 1 plus 6 plus 3 all over negative 2. So that would be total of 10 divided by negative 2, so negative 5. Number 6, a company that makes wildlife videos purchases camera equipment for $32,400. And then that shit depreciates in value for 12 years, after which it's got no monetary value. So how much is the camera equipment worth 4 years after it is purchased? So if 4 years are gone, now you only have 8 years worth of value remaining intact, right? Because out of 12 years, well, after 4 years, the entire 4 years worth of value is now gone because that depreciated. So that'll be 8 years out of 12 years of value that is remaining because the question's asking for how much is it worth, not how much of the value actually did depreciate. So cancel the years. And you can cancel by 4, so that'll be 2 and 3. So basically just take that 32,400 and multiply by 2/3 because only 2/3 of the value is remaining, right? Once again, 1/4 is the amount that is already depreciated. So I'm just taking that off, right? How did I get that 1/3? 4 years out of the 12 years, that's 1/3. So go ahead and just cancel the 3. So that would be 10800, multiply that shit by 2, and that should be 21600, answer choice C. Number 7, which of the following is equivalent to the expression? Yeah, just, I would go ahead and try to factor it, but obviously it's not factorable. So if you look at the answer choices, first of all, if you look at C and D, when you FOIL that, you're going to get x squared minus 6x because of the negatives right there. So that's going to be out. So I guess check between A and B. Let me just check B. That'll be x squared plus 6x plus 9 if you just FOIL out that portion right there. And then if you subtract 5 from it, 9 minus 5 does give you that 4 indeed. So B it is. Just move on. Number 8, Ken is working this summer as part of a crew, whatever, man. $8,000 an hour for the first 10 hours. So that'll be $80 he made in the first 10 hours. And then because of his performance, his crew leader raised his salary to $10 an hour for the rest of the week. Okay, Ken saves 90% of his earnings from each week. Okay, what is the least number of hours he must work the rest of the week to save at least $270 for the week? So save at least $270. So we gotta be $270 or greater. The question is, it's saving. So if you look, it says he saves 90% of his earnings. So we're gonna multiply by 0.9 times whatever the hell he just earned, which is 80, the first 10 hours worth of the earnings. And then God knows how much, but he is getting $10 an hour. So I'll go 10x, right? X meaning the number of hours that he is working after he got the raise. And then 80 is obviously the total amount that he earned for the first 10 hours. So first I'm going to go ahead and divide by 0.9 on both sides to cancel that shit. And if you don't like dividing by decimals, you can just push one. You can just push one. And then divide that by 9. So that's just going to be 300. So 80 plus 10x is greater than or equal to 300. Subtract 80 on both sides, so that you get 10x is greater than or equal to 220, so x is greater than or equal to 22. So he's got to work at least 22, if not more, hours in order to save at least that $270, if not more. Number 9. Wow, long ass wording. So here we go. At least 10 staff members. Stop that. So I'll just be like 10 or greater. If you look at the answer choices starting from the bottom, that's got the wrong sign. That's cool. That's cool. And then that's got the wrong sign. So we're between B and C. And then what does it say? Junior directors will be paid $640 per week, and senior directors will be paid $880 per week. So something about $640 for junior and then $880 for seniors. But if you look at the answer choices B and C, they kind of have the same shit. So that really doesn't help you in any way. Yeah, X is probably the juniors and the Y is probably the seniors, but who cares? Her budget for paying the staff member is no more than $9,700. So no more than. So $9,700, if not less. So looking at C, it's got the wrong sign, right? So that's out, and that probably is your answer. I'm really not going to read the rest of these garbage because I don't need that. Number 10. In the equation above, blah, blah, blah. The equation has roots -1, -3, positive 5. Probably came from x plus 1, x plus 3, and x minus 5, right? So which of the following is a factor? Yeah, fucking all these three are factors. So whichever one. So x plus 5. No, it should be x minus 5. It should be x plus 3. X plus 1, there it is. Yeah, no x minus 1. All right, number 11, the expression that is equivalent to which of the following? Well, first of all, if you divide, you're supposed to subtract the exponents, right? So let's do the x's and y's separately first. I'm going to go ahead and divide. So x to the -2 minus 1/3, that should be. And then doing the green part now in y. So that'll be y to the 1/2 minus -1. So let's do that. That'll be x to the, if you have the common denominator, I'll call it 6/3. So that'll be -7/3. And then that'll be y to the, well, 1/2 plus 1. So just, that'll be 3/2 if you have the common denominator. So first of all, the y should stay on top. So y to the 3/2 should stay on top. And then the x to the 7/3 should be on the bottom because of the negative exponent. So something like this. And if you look at it, well, first of all, lastly, if you look at all the answer choices, you got to have them in roots. So the y to the 3/2 power, that's basically square root of y cubed over. And then the bottom, that would basically be cube root of an x to the 7th power. So if you just cut that shit, simplify it, that'll be y root y over the bottom one. You can take out 2 of the x's, so that'll be x squared cubic root of x. So that should match answer choice D. All right, number 12. Function f is defined by that shit. It's a parabola, well, right? So it's got zeros at x is equal to -3 and x is equal to -1. What the fuck do they want? Which of the following interval contains the x-coordinate of the vertex of the graph? So if you look at it, it's at -3 and -1, the zeros, right? So I don't know where the hell the vertex is, but it's going to be something like this smiley face because there's no negative there. And, well, the vertex, well, wherever it may be, it's got to be right down in the middle of these two, right? So that's got to be a -2. So the x value of the vertex is going to be -2. What's the y? Who the fuck cares about it? I mean, you can find it if you want. You can plug it back in, and that'll give you what? 1 times -1. So the y would be -1, but you don't really need this. That's the point, right? All you need is just -2. So the question's asking, what contains the x-coordinate of the vertex? Well, so -2 fits in where? Not D, not C, probably B, right? B is where it's going to fit in between. Well, the -2 fits in between -3 and 1. And obviously it doesn't fit in A either. All right, number 13. Which of the following is equivalent to this? Okay, well, you can try to factor out the top, but I guarantee you it's not going to work. So you can go ahead and do long division. Or personally for me, I'll just go ahead and plug shit in. I'll just say x is equal to 2. And if you just put that shit in, then the original expression will be 4 minus 4 minus 5 all over -1. So that just goes away. So -5 and -1 should be +5. So when I plug the 2's back in, I should get a +5 for whatever the hell the right answer it's going to be, right? So I'm going to start from the bottom. and that'll be 3 minus 2 over negative 1. So that'll be 3 minus negative 2, and that's 5. So I want to circle it, but I'm just going to double check to make sure the other ones are all wrong. So C, 3 minus 8 over negative 1. So that'll be 8 plus 3. That's a no-no. That's going to be 11. And then B is going to give you negative 3 minus 10 over negative 1. So that'll be negative 3 plus 10, which is 7. That's a no-no. And then A, that's be negative 3 minus 20 over negative 1. That'll be 17. No, it's going to be D. Once again, the typical right way to do it is that you just do long division, right? X squared minus 2x minus 5. You just do long division where you go, well, x, and that'll be x squared minus 3x. And then if you subtract that shit, that becomes a plus, so that'll be x minus 5. That'll be plus 1, and then x minus 3. And then now you have, well, when you subtract that, you get a remainder of negative 2. And then you just put that over. So plus negative 2 over x minus 3, which is why it matches the answer choice D. But the thing is, that takes fucking too long, right? Personally, I think plugging in takes much shorter amount of time, and also it's more convenient too. But if you're one of those people who likes the synthetic division, like 3, and then that'll be 1, negative 2, negative 5. So carry it down, multiply 3, and 1, multiply 3, and negative 2. So that'll be x plus 1 plus negative 2 over x minus 3. If you like this too, that's totally fine. Synthetic, long division, or plug in it, whatever the fuck floats your boat, right? Number 14, a shipping service restricts whatever. The restriction states that for boxes shaped like a rectangular prism, so let me just go ahead and draw a rectangular prism, something like this. The sum of the perimeter of the base of the box, stop it. So the sum of the perimeter of the base of the box, so that part, and then the height of the box, so the height of the box cannot exceed 130 inches. So stop it. So let me just write that. Perimeter plus the height cannot exceed 130. Okay. The perimeter of the base of the box is determined using the width. Yeah, I'm a fucking durr. Yeah, if a box has a height of 60 inches, stop it. So 60 for the height. And then length is 2.5 times the width. Stop it. Hold on. So if you kind of look at the bottom of the box, well, call that length, call that width. What they're saying is the length is 2.5 times the width. So I can say L is equal to 2.5 W. So technically, that'll be 2.5 W, that'll be 2.5 W, that's a W, that's a W. So if you add all the fucking W's up, that's going to be a total of 7 W's. And that's basically what I'm going to call the perimeter, 7W. And that should be less than or equal to 130. This is pretty easy then. Just subtract 60 on both sides. So 7W is less than or equal to 70. So W is less than or equal to 10. And A is the only thing that has that. It says X. It doesn't say W, but who the fuck cares? It says X is the width. I just called it W, but it really doesn't matter, right? All right, so that was number 14. Let's go. Number 15. That expression can be rewritten in this. Okay, so set them equal. 1/3 x squared minus 2 is equal to 1/3. I'm just going to FOIL this shit out, which is going to be x squared minus k squared. Pretty easy. Distribute that. So that'll be 1/3 x squared minus 2 is equal to 1/3 x squared minus 1/3 k squared. So what is the value of k? Well, basically, if you look at it, you can go ahead and just cancel the 1/3 x squared on both sides, and you can fuck the negatives on both sides too. So all you got really is just 2 is equal to 1/3 k squared. So you can now go ahead and multiply both sides by 3 to cancel the 1/3. So 6 is equal to k squared. So square root both sides. K is equal to plus or minus radical 6. Answer choice D. All right, number 16. If 2x plus 8 is 16, you want x plus 4. Just divide by 2's on both sides. X plus 4 is 8. Done. Next, number 17. Figure above, MQ and R intersect. Okay, and then NP is equal to QP. So let me just mark that. And then MP is equal to PR. So MP is equal to PR. Okay, so some like isosceles triangles. What is the measure in degrees of the QMR? So we're looking for this one right here. But that's a joke because if you look at it, if these two sides are the same, then these two angles better be the same. So if this is a 60, well, that should be 120 because it's got to be supplementary. So the rest of these two angles must split the rest of the 60 in this particular triangle. And it's going to split evenly too. So that should be 30 and a 30. So the angle QMR is just going to be 30 degrees. Next, number 18, the number of radians in 720-degree angle can be written as a pi. Yo, I mean, if anybody took maybe algebra 2, but not really, maybe like, definitely trig and beyond, you should know that 180 degrees is a pi, right? So you can go ahead and use that conversion, 720 degrees. Well, 180 degrees is a pi, and if you just cancel that shit, that just give you 4 pi, so A's got to be a 4. Well, that's one way to do it. Or if you haven't taken, pre-calc, or your algebra 2 teacher didn't teach you this shit, then the front of the packet literally fucking gives it to you right here where it says 360 degrees is 2 pi radian. They literally give it to you. So you can just use that conversion and be like, yo, 360 degrees is 2 pi, as the front of the packet tells me. And this question asks me 720 degrees is how many pi's? And I'm like, well, that's times 2, so that should be times 2. So it should be 4 pi, so the answer should be 4. Yeah, so whichever way. Number 19, the graph of the line passes to the point 1, 4 and crosses the x-axis at the point 2, 0. So that's not the y-intercept, that's the x-intercept. If the line crosses the y-axis at the point 0, b, what is the value of b? So you just want the y-intercept, right? So many different ways of doing it, but most typical way, right? So you got the 1, 4, and then you got 2 and 0. Let's figure out the slope. 4 to 0, that's a negative 4 as a rise. And then 1 to 2, that's a positive 1 as a run. So there you have it. Slope is negative 4. So now what do? Just plug it into y is equal to mx plus b. And I'm probably going to plug in the 2 and 0 because that's easy to work with. So y is 0, slope is negative 4, x is 2 plus b. So there you have it. 0 is equal to negative 8 plus b. So b is going to equal 8. There you have it. All right, number 20, the expression that. So what is the value of a plus b? So just got to put that in this kind of a form. So let me distribute that shit. So that'd be 7532 plus 100y squared plus 100y squared minus 1100. So if you put them together, that would be 200y squared plus 6432. So what do they want? They want a plus b. If you notice, a is the 200, and then the 6432 is going to be the b. So they just want you to add those two, which is going to be 6632. And there you have it. And that's the end of section 3. Let's keep moving. Section 4. Number 1, table, whatever. What fraction of the dogs, so out of the 25, are fed only dry food? And that is 2. So there you have it. And it's choice B. Number 2, which of the following expressions is equivalent to the one above? Just do the freaking operations. So that'll be x squared plus 3x squared. So that should be 4x squared. So get rid of C and D. And then negative 3 minus 5. So that should be negative 8. So it's got to be A. Number 3, a certain package requires 3 centimeters of the tape to be closed securely. What is the maximum number of packages of this type can be secure with 6 meters of tape? So if you think about 6 meters, first of all, we might want to go ahead and convert that into centimeters because, that is in 3 centimeters per each package. So it says 1 meter is 100 centimeters. Y'all should really know this, but anyway, they give it to you 600 centimeters. Well, if it's 3 centimeters for each package, just divide that by 3 centimeter per package. Then if you divide, that'll give you 200 packages, which is answer choice C. Number 4, a market researcher selected 200 people at random from a group of people who indicated that they liked a certain book. Okay, so 200 people are shown a movie based on the book, and then whether they like the movie or not. And then of those surveyed, 95% said they disliked the movie. So like they like the book, but they don't like the movie. Okay, which of the following inferences can appropriately be drawn from this survey result? So let's start from the bottom. Most people who like this book, so up until that part, that's okay because that's what they say, right? They like the book. So who like this book will dislike this movie? Yeah, that's literally what they said too. Like dislike the movie. So dislike the movie? Yeah, I kind of like it. But let me just double check to see other ones are all wrong. C, most people who dislike this book will like this movie. I don't fucking know. See, like that is kind of like the complete opposite of what I just read in choice D. But the thing is, choice C, I can't say jack shit about it because the question told me nothing about the type of people who dislike the movie. They only talked to me about the people who did like the movie, not the ones who dislike the movie. So I can't really speak for any of the populations who dislike this book because I don't fucking know who they are and I don't know what they're thinking. The question tells me nothing about that. So I can't draw any possible conclusion from that just because I was not given any info about it. So C's out. And B and A are kind of terribly worded because if you look, B says at least 95% of the people who read books will dislike this movie. I don't fucking know. I only did a survey on 200 goddamn people, right? And that's not going to be enough to, enough for me to like say with confidence that, hey, like they will dislike this or they will like this. I can't fucking say that. Like it's only out of 200 people. I understand the survey was random. So like, it's a fair survey, but you only did a survey on 200 people. You cannot fucking draw just straight up conclusion and be like, like it's not gonna get, like it's not gonna be good. People are not gonna like it, or people are gonna like. You can't say that. And probably the same goes with choice A. Then at least 95% of the people who go see movies will dislike this movie, and that says nothing about the books too. So probably wrong too. It's gotta be choice D. D is the most logical reasoning, because it has both of the stuff that are already mentioned within the context of the question. All right, number 5. Which of the following order pairs xy satisfies the inequality? Okay, so it's just inequality. Just fucking plug it in. I'll try Roman number 1. So if you plug in 1 and 1, let's see what happens. 2 is less than 4. Yeah, that works. So 1's cool. So get rid of B. And then 2 and 5. Let's try that one. So if you plug in 2 and 5, that'll be 10 minus 15. So negative 5. Yeah, that's cool. That works. Next. Roman number 3. So if you plug in 3 and 2, that'll be 15 minus 6. And that would be 9's less than 4. That is absolutely false. Only 1 and 2. Number 6. In the equation, A is constant. Cool story, bro. If x is equal to negative 3 is one solution, what is a possible value of A? Okay. So let's go ahead and just plug in x is equal to negative 3 right here. So that'll be negative 3a plus 3 squared is equal to 36. Let's go ahead and square root both sides. Negative 3a plus 3 is equal to plus or minus 6. So I'll go ahead and solve both versions. Negative 3a plus 3 is equal to 6. Negative 3a plus 3 is equal to negative 6. So negative 3a is equal to 3. A is equal to negative 1 is 1. And negative 3a is equal to negative 9. So a is equal to 3 is another one. So whichever one I see negative 1. So there it is. All right. And then 7 and 8's got to do with this graph. I don't know what the fuck this is, but 7 of them. And then, yeah, whatever. Okay. So according to the scatter plot, which of the following statements is true about the relationship between a planetoid's average distance from the sun and its density? So distance and density, if you look at it, it's an inverse relationship. It's a negative slope, right? So as the distance increases, the density decreases. So something about that. D, the distance from the planetoid to the sun is unrelated. It is related. C, the density of the planetoid is twice as far from the sun as another planetoid is half the density. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really check that. I could go ahead and check it if I were to, but for now, I mean, yeah, that sounds about right, because it is inverse relationship, right? So if one is twice, the other one better be 1/2. I don't know. Maybe I like that. B, planetoids that are more distant from the sun tend to have greater density is absolutely fucking false. And the A, planetoids that are more distant from the sun tend to have lesser densities. That sounds good too. So all I gotta check between A and C is perhaps the choice C. Is it really like double versus half sort of a thing? So let's just go ahead and figure that out. We can go ahead and check by checking some of these points here, right? So I will just go ahead and grab any of these points on the line to check if what they're saying is true. So let's look at something like, let's see, what would be a good point to work with? I'm just going to grab that one. That's 0.8 and 5, right? So this is a distance, and then this is a density. Wow, they have to use both D's, on it. And then what did they say? Anything that is twice as far should have half the density. So twice as far from 0.8 is going to be 1.6. And if you look at 1.6, that'll be 1.6 and what? That's like 4.25. And you know what they said about the whole, like, the half? Because we went from 5 to 4.25. And what they're saying is going to be half the density. It's not fucking half, dude. We went from 5 to a 4.25. Half of 5 is a 2.5. That's way far out. So now I know C is wrong, so it's going to be A. Just generally speaking, the more distance it is, the lesser density it's going to be. So that's why it's going to be choice A. Number 8. An astronomer has discovered a new planetoid about 1.2 AU from the sun. Stop. So let's go to the graph, and AU is right there, 1.2. So let me go ahead and just circle that 1.2. And then what does it say? According to the line of best fit, which of the following best approximates the density? Oh, easy. Just fucking go back to the 1.2, go up, and that is what? Like a little over 4.5. So whatever the hell that is. A little over 4.5, and that's 4.6. 5.5 is way too far. All right, number 9. Based on the equation, what is the value of ax plus b? Just go ahead and add 6 on both sides. 9ax plus 9b is equal to 27. And go ahead and just divide by 9s on both sides, and that'll be ax plus b is equal to 3, and you're freaking done. Next, number 10. Lonnie spent 15% of her 8-hour workday in meetings. How many minutes of her workday did she spend on meetings? Okay, so 8 hours, and we're going to go ahead and take 0.15 of it. And you can go ahead and use your calculator if you would like. So, that will give you 1.2 hours when you punch it into your calculator. But now I want that. Well, that's not going to be 8, believe me, because that's hours. I want it in minutes. So go ahead and multiply by 1 hour on the bottom, 60 minutes on the top. So hours cancel, and that should be 72 minutes. Next, number 11, software. Yeah, that's way too long. Way too fucking long. I don't want to read all this. It says standard editions got 20, whatever the hell that means. And then the collector's edition has 30. All right, so something about that. So 20 is for standard and 30 is for collector. So something to do with that. Which means, starting from the bottom, 30S, get the fuck out. 25, where the hell did I get that from? And then 30S, 20S, 30C, there you have it. I'm just going to circle it and move on. Yeah, I know I haven't read the rest, but I'm pretty goddamn sure A is probably going to be the answer, so I don't want to really bother. All right, so now, next question, number 12. A customer paid $53 for a jacket after 6% sales tax was added. So whatever the price it was, you multiply by 1.06 because you have to pay that extra 6% for tax, and after that, you have the customer paid $53. What was the price of the jacket before the tax was added? So it should have been a little bit cheaper than 53. So yeah, probably something like C or something, but you can just go ahead and divide by 1.06 on both sides to be exact. And I probably wouldn't try my chance without a calculator in this one because the numbers in the answer choices are quite close to each other. So I'm just going to go ahead and do 53 divided by 1.06, and then I get $50 to be exact. Okay, so it should have been B. All right, number 13. The Teresa ran on a treadmill, whatever. According to the graph, which of the following statements is not true concerning Teresa's run? So, D. Teresa's speed reaches maximum during the last 10 minutes. Yeah. The last 10 minutes will be from 20 to 30. The maximum is right there, the speed. So that's cool. That is true, which is why that's out, because I'm looking for something that is not true. C. Teresa's speed decreased at a constant rate during the last 5 minutes. Last 5 minutes will be from 25 to 30. And yeah, it's decreasing at a constant rate because it's a linear, so it is constant rate. So that is true, which is why I'm going to get rid of it. B. Teresa's speed was increasing for a longer period of time than it was decreasing. Well, let me check that because I would have to check that one. So I'm going to do increasing. Let me just highlight this. So I'm going to do increasing with a green. So that would be increase right there. That'll be increase right there. And then I'm going to do decreasing with blue. So decrease and decrease. So let's see how long that was. This part, that's 5 minutes right there. And then that part, that's another 5 minutes right there. So that's a total of 10 minutes. So 10 minutes, let me mark that. And then decreasing was from over here to over here. So that is already 10 minutes. And then that part is 5 minutes. So that's a total of 15 minutes. So when they say speed was increasing for a longer period of time than decreasing, that's fucking hell not true. And that's why B is your answer. And then A says Teresa ran at a constant speed for 5 minutes, it says, which is constant speed, probably talking about that zone. And that is 5 minutes indeed. This is true, which is why that's out. Number 14 in the figure above, what is the value of x? This is a quadrilateral. They got to add up to 360, one of which is 45. So go ahead and subtract that shit. So you got 315 to work with. Divide that by 3 and you get 105. Easy. Next, number 15. If 50 1-cent coins were stacked on top of each other, the column will be approximately 3 7/8 inches tall. At this rate, which of the following is closer to the number of 1-cent coins it would take to make 8 inch? Easy stuff. 50 of them makes, well, I'm going to turn that into a different form of fraction because I don't really like that form. I'll turn it into 31 over 8 because it'll be 24 plus 7 on top, which is going to be 31. And then now, well, so that's inches. If I wanted in 8 inches, well, how many coins would that be? It's just freaking proportion. So I'll just put them into fractions and set them equal. So you can go ahead and just cross multiply. I'm going to call that x. So 31 over 8x is equal to 50 times 8, which is 400. So go ahead and multiply both sides by 8 over 31. And yeah, you can go ahead and just punch that into your calculator. And when you do that, you should get something like x is equal to 103.225,806, close enough to 100. Next, number 16. A minus b is 12. B over 2 is 10. So already from that, if you just multiply 2 on both sides, then you know b is going to be 20. So you can put that shit in. So a has to be a 32. And what is the value of a plus b? Is 32 plus 20. And there you have it, 52. Easy stuff. Number 17. Equation above models a total cost y. So y is a total cost. And then x is miles. And then plus a flat fee plus charge per mile driven. So that's probably the flat fee because, you know, it's not any variable attached to it. And then that is probably the charge, the dollars per mile, right? So something like that. When the equation is graphing the xy plane, what does a y-intercept? Yeah, it's a fucking flat fee, which is a. All right. And then number 18, scatter plot, blah, 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 blah. For the charity with the greatest percent of total expenses spent on programs. So we're talking about the greatest percent of total expenses. So greatest, that would be this guy right here, sitting right there. What do we want? Which of the following is closer to the difference of the actual and the predicted? So that's the actual. That's like 92, let's just call it. But then the predicted right below it should be about what, like a fucking 86 or something. So between those two, the difference is about 6. And the closest one that I got is 7. So that's cool. All right, number 19 and 20's got to do with this. I don't want to read it, so whatever. Based on the currents formula, what is W? So A is equal to 4 plus W over 30. You want to solve for the W, so go ahead and subtract 30 on both sides. So 30A is equal to 4 plus W. So go ahead and subtract 4 now, and that'll be W is equal to 30A minus 4, which is answer choice A. Number 20, if Masteller's and currents formulas give the same estimates, so just fucking set them equal. Square root of HW over 60 is equal to 4 plus W over 30. But please notice, all they want is just what's equal to that square root of HW. So basically cross multiply, 30 square root of HW is equal to 60 times 4 plus W. There's a reason I'm not distributing this, because all you gotta do is just divide by 30s, and that would nicely cancel with that one to a 2. So square root of HW is equal to, distribute that shit, that'll be 8 plus 2W. Answer choice. Well, you didn't actually even need to do that. You just leave it in 2 plus 4 plus W, and that's just right there. Answer choice C. All right, so number 21, the scatter plot, whatever. According to line of best fit, which of the following is closer to the predicted increase in total fat for every increase of 1 gram of total protein? Okay, basically they're just asking for the slope, right? So just go ahead and pick 2 points and just find the slope. I'm going to have to use some approximation, so that's not nice, but whatever. I'll just grab that one and call it, what, like 25 and 40. And then grab that one and then call it like 45 and what is that, 70? Yeah, it's probably not very accurate, but who the fuck cares? It's close enough. So 40 to 70, that's a rise of 30 over 25 to 45, that's a run of 20. So it should be about 1.5 as a slope. Yeah, which was pretty accurate, right? That was enough. Number 22, a survey, 50 states. The results from 7 of the states. Yeah, so these are 7 of them. So yeah, just don't read any of that jack shit. And then it says the median. Yeah, I should probably keep that one. The median of the percent of the residents who earned a bachelor's degree was 26.95%. What is the difference between the median of the residents who earn bachelor's degrees or higher for these 7 states as compared to the 50 states, aka the 26.95 they gave me? So let's find the median of these 7. So it's 7 states. It's going to be the 4th state that's the median. So if you take a look, I'm going to start counting from the lowest. First guy, second guy, third guy, and fourth guy. There you have it. So you got 27.9. That's the median of the 7 states. And then you got this 26.95%, which is the median of all 50 states. You want the difference, just subtract the 2. You know what? That's basically 27.9 times minus 26.9. So which is just going to be exactly 1, but slightly less, and that's just B. What? Subtract that extra 0.05, which is going to give you 0.95. But why would you do that on your calculator? Number 23, a cylindrical can containing pieces of whatever. So it's just got the cylinder. That's it. And then the base has an area of 75. Okay, so this whole thing is just 75. Okay, no pies or nothing. That's pretty easy. And the height is 10. So, okay, 10. All right. So the volume would now be 750. All right. So if 110 cubic centimeter of syrup is needed to fill the can to the top, which of the following is close to the total volume of pieces of fruit in the can? Okay, so out of the very grand total 750 that's going to fit in this can, because that's what the volume of the can is going to be, well, 1/10 of it is going to be syrup. So you just got to subtract that shit, right? 750, subtract off that 110, and the 640 is the remaining volume that can be filled with the pieces of fruit, right? So that'll be C, 640. Number 24, the function models the h, whatever. What does the 72 represent? That's the y-intercept, aka when t is equal to 0. Something about initial height. So D, maximum C, what the fuck are you talking about? C, the initial speed, it's not the speed. B, the maximum height, no, it's not the maximum height. Initial height, it is answer choice A. Number 25 and 26 got to do with this table. All right, 25. If X food calories is equivalent to K kilojoules of the following, which best represents the relationship? If you look at it, food calories to kilojoules, that's about times 4. Does it confirm with the other ones? 9 to 37.7, but like times 4 will be 36. That's pretty close. I mean, 4 to 16.7. Once again, it's about times 4. So something about the kilojoules, K, is equal to 4 times the food calories, X. And that matches answer choice C, right? Actually, no, I'm sorry. That would be answer choice B, right? K is equal to 4.2x. Yeah, 4.2x, 4x, fucking same thing. Number 26. If the 180 food calories in a granola bar come entirely from P grams of protein, F grams of fat, and C grams of carbohydrate, which of the following expresses F in terms of P and C? So it's got a total of 180 food calories. But if you look at it, now, first of all, I want you to notice we're talking about calories. So, F to kilojoules, we don't need that. We're just talking about calories. Well, protein's got 4 each, fat's got 9 each, and carbohydrates got 4 each. So what we can say is 4P plus 9 F and 4C, all of that is probably equal to 180. And that is the equation that you're supposed to be thinking. Now, if you look at the answer choices, all we're doing is solving for the F, right? So we can go ahead and subtract 4P and 4C on both sides. And then that will give you 9F is equal to 180 minus 4P minus 4C. So if you just divide by 9s on all of it, you should get F is equal to 20 minus 4 over 9P minus 4 over 9C. So looking at the answer choices, first of all, D and A are out because it says plus, it should be minus. And then if you look between B and C, the only difference is the sign. So just be careful. If you look at C, when you distribute that, that's negative, which is okay, but that is positive, which is not okay. If you look at B, that will be negative, and so will that be. So that's why the both negative should match the both negatives in choice B when you distribute that choice B. All right, number 27, the world's population has grown an average of 1.9%, so that'll be 1.019 that you need to multiply whatever the shit by. There were total approximately 4 billion, so there you have it. It's going to be something like this, answer choice A. All right, number 28, the xy plane point with coordinate the st, the linear function, okay, st are positive integer. What is the ratio of t to s? The hell? I mean, a point not shown, but but dude, bro, like wherever you fucking pick. I mean, this is from the 0, 0. So the x to y ratio should be 1 to 2, right? So, whatever the s and t is, well, it's got to have 1 to 2 ratio. So if you think about the idea of t to s, well, s to t is 1 to 2. So t to s better be 2 to 1 and fucking easy. Next, number 29. A circle in the xy planes got that equation. Which of the following points does not lie in the interior of the circle? So you can kind of just imagine this, right? You can go -3 right here and then 1 right there. So that will be the center. And then the radius is 5. So that'll be a -8 right there. And then that'll be a +2 right there. And that'll be a 6 right there. And then that'll be a -4 down there. And it's going to be something like this. Just kind of picture that in your head, right? And what you want to do is just go ahead and start grabbing the choices, start from the bottom, and start plugging that shit in. But think about freaking choice D, 3 and 2. That would be like fucking like right there. That's hell out of the circle. That's not inside the circle. So that's probably what it is. Answer choice D. If you look at all the other ones, let me just prove it to you. Choice C, 0, 0. Yeah, most freaking definitely. Like, I know I drew my picture like total shit, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's close enough. If you look at B, negative 3, 1. Yeah, that is the center of the circle. aka it's gotta be inside the freaking circle. So that's fine, which is why that's also out too. And negative 7 and 3, well, that'll be like negative 7 right there, and then 3 like up there. So somewhere like there, yeah, and that's probably gonna be inside the circle. If you wanted to double check, what you could have done, like if you about, let's say, choice A, what you could do is you can go ahead and punch it into negative 7 and 3 into the original equation. Then what would that give you? That'll give you negative 4 squared, which is 16, plus 3 minus 1, so 2 squared, which is 4, and that's equal to 25. Well, first of all, it is not equal to 25, of course, because it is not on the circle. It is in the circle. But the point is this. Notice that this is going to add up to 20, which is less than the 25, meaning it's not going to exceed your radius, aka it's not going to go out of the circle. It's going to stay inside the circle. Had it been the case that when you plug that point in with the xy coordinate into the original equation, and then if you get something that is, well, at the end of the day, when you do all the math, if you get something greater than 25, that probably means it exceeds the radius, aka it's going to go out of the circle, so probably it's not going to be inside the circle. So that's how you want to double check if you wanted to. But you know what? The picture was good enough, and D just held off, so that's why I just circled D. Number 30, the manager of an online news service received the report, blah, blah, whatever. The manager estimated that the percent increase from 2012 to 2013, well, hold on, so that's, let me just find that, right? So if you just do 5880 divided by 5600, then you're going to get 1.05, so that's going to be 5% increase. Okay, would be double the percent increase from 2013 to 2014. So this is where everybody's going to be confused and be like, oh, like that should be 10% up, right? Hell no. We'll see what it says, right? It says 2012 to 2013 would be double. So 2012 to 2013 is the big one. AKA the other one should be half. AKA it should go up by 2.5%. And then if you do that, well, just go ahead and grab that 5880 and then multiply that by 1.025. And when you do that, you get exactly 6027, which is answer choice B. All right, and then number 31. In 1854, during the California Gold Rush, 1 ounce of gold was 20,000. Oh, fuck shit. Like, I wish it was 20,000 ounce today. And the largest known mass of gold found in California was worth $62,400 in that year. Woo, damn. $62,000 in 1854. Damn, this guy must be fuck loaded by now. Okay, or maybe his family is loaded by now. What was the weight in pounds of this massive gold? What was it in pounds? So first of all, grab the 62,400 and we'll see how much how heavy it was in ounces. So go ahead and do $20 per ounce, right? So cancel the zeros and then just divide by 2. So that'll be 3120 ounces. So 3120 ounces, but that's not what we want. We want it in pounds. So do that conversion they gave you right there. 16 ounce is 1 pound, right? And so you just simply do 3120 divided by 16. Just use your calculator and it's going to give you 195 pounds. All right, number 32, line T is shown. What is a slope? Yeah, just grab 2 points. You know what? They're giving you all these like nasty ass fucking numbers, but honestly, you don't need to use any of those numbers, right? I'm going to pick my own fucking points. I'll grab that one, which is 0, -3. And then how about that one? That looks nice. That'll be 5 and -1. So what will be the slope? From -3 to -1, the rise is 2. From 0 to 5, the run is 5. There you have it, 2/5. Why the fuck would you use those nasty ass points with like fractions and shit? I wouldn't do that. Just pick your own points. Number 33, the score on a trivia game is obtained by subtracting the number of incorrect answers. Stop. So subtract the incorrect from twice the number of correct answers. Stop. So twice the correct, right? Okay, so if a player answered 40 questions and obtained a score of 50, so whatever the hell happened, got 50 in total. How many questions did the player answer correctly? If you think about it, well, now I'm just going to call the correct C and then incorrect I, okay? So the equation that you have is, well, 2c minus I is equal to 50. That's one. And what was the other one? Well, 40 questions in total. So you can be like c plus I is equal to 40. And what do we want? We want the correctly. So we want the c. If you look at these the equations in a system, well, just go ahead and add that shit and the i's just cancel. So 3c is equal to 90. So there you have it. C is equal to 30. There you have it. All right, number 34. The point C is the center. What fraction of the area of the circle is the area of the shaded region? Yeah, it's just basically 100 degrees out of fucking 360 degrees, and you're done. Cancel the degrees, cancel the zeros, cancel by 2, so that'll be 5 over 18, and there you have it. Number 35. If the order pair, what is one possible value of x? So let's go ahead and just do substitutions, I guess. Just put that right there. So 4 minus x is equal to x squared minus 4x plus 4. Typical quadratic. Move it over to one side. Set it equal to 0. Go ahead and add x on both sides. Go ahead and subtract 4 on both sides. So when you do that, you get x squared minus 3x. Well, that just cancels, and that's equal to 0. So go ahead and factor out the x. That'll be x times x minus 3 is equal to 0. So x could either equal 0 or x could either equal 3. It says what is one possible value, so whatever the fuck you want to circle. Number 36, so tangent B is 3/4. So you can be like, this is 3x and that'll be 4x. Or if you look at the bigger triangle, BAC, or you can also be like, the tangent is 3/4, so it'd be 3, I just call y, and then 4y, because opposite of adjacent is the tangent, right? So opposite of adjacent. So if BC is 15, stop it. So that thing is 15 right here. Then DA and DA is 4, so that's 4 right there. What is the length of DE? So you want that shit. Okay, so probably a smart idea for you to take out the two triangles like this and compare it side by side. So we know that this is 15 right here, but please notice that tangent of B is 3/4, so it should be like 3. I'm just gonna put like quotation 4 and 3, 4, 5 special triangle. But notice that the 5 portion should match the 15, so it's probably multiplied by 3. So that should be a 9, and that should be a 12. And then what else do we also know? We also know that just DA right now over here is 4. So knowing that the whole thing is 12 from what I got in the big triangle, well, that should be 8 now, right? So if that's an 8, well, then that should be 6 because it's be 3/4, like 3:4 ratio. So what do they want? DE? Yeah, I got it. 6. There it is. All right, number 37, 30 has got to do with this little table shit. Number 30, I'm not going to really read much. 20 contestants, but I see it all here, so I'm not going to read that. 5 questions, yeah, I don't want to read it. Number 37, what was the mean score of the contestants on day 1? So day 1, okay, first of all, how do you find mean? You just grab the sum and divide by a number of shit, right? So in this particular case, how many points per how many people? You know there were a total of 20 people. The sum is what I really need to calculate, but I want you to understand, how do we find the sum? This is how you do it. You're supposed to really read this table like correctly, and if you look at it, this 2 right here represents people who got 5 out of 5. So basically what that is saying is 2 people got 5 out of 5. So each person got 5, meaning you got 2 people, each scoring 5 out of 5. So that would be a total of 10 points. Let me do another one. 3 people who got 4 points each. So that would be 3 people, 4 points each. 4 times 3, 12 points it is. Same thing. Over here is going to be 12 now. Well, over here is going to be 6 times 2. That would be 12 again. And over here is going to be 2 times 1. So it's going to be 2. And then 3 times 0. So that's just 0. Okay, go ahead and add them all. So that would be a total of, well, 10. Well, I'm just going to add all the 10s. Like, so 10, 20, 30, 40. And then now let me add the ones. 2, 4, 6, 8. So 48. So 48 divided by 20. And that was going to be 2.4. Well, how did I do that? Well, 48 divided by 2 is exactly 24. And you just put that 1 0, the decimal to the left. So 2.4. Now, number 38. No contestant received the same score in 2 days. 2 different days. Okay. If a contestant is selected at random, what is the probability that the selected contestants receive a score of 5 on day 2 or day 3? Stop. So what we want is score of 5 on day 2 or day 3. So basically day 2 or day 3 score 5. So that would be that 2 and that 3. Okay. Given that the contestant received a score of 5 on one of these 3 days. Okay, so What they mean by this part right here, given that the contestant received a score of 5 on one of these 3 days, means whoever you're picking, it has to be someone who at least got that 5 out of 5 to even fucking begin with. Like, you can't pick anybody who didn't even qualify. The ones who are going to qualify for this is going to be the people who got a 5 to begin with. Like, they didn't get a 4, they didn't get a 3, they got a 5 sometime, like someday, day 1, day 2, or day 3, someday that they actually did get a 5, even for once. And if you look at it, we're talking about these people right here. So only 7 people out of everybody, the whole 60 people, even scored a 5 to begin with. So we're picking out of the 7. And then obviously what you want is a score of 5 on day 2 or day 3. So no day 1. And that's going to be 2 and 3 together, which is 5. So that's why it's going to be 5 out of 7. And that basically wraps up the entire practice test number 7 by the College Board.